Welcome to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with an absolutely brutal truth. Fear is the only enemy that resides inside your own head and still demands rent from you. It doesn't politely knock. It doesn't ask for any permission. It simply moves in, plants itself on your beautiful dreams, devours your confidence, and whispers sweetly, "Relax, we will certainly start tomorrow." And the most insane part? Most people actually obey it. People wrongly assume fear is harmless. They offer excuses like, "I am not genuinely scared. I am merely waiting for the opportune moment." Or, "My personal situation is slightly unique. I will begin once I finally feel prepared." My friend, no one ever truly feels prepared. Even your own phone is rarely ready. It demands constant updates. If your phone waited to feel completely ready, you would still be using outdated technology. Have you observed how easily people can consume an entire season of a drama series in one single night? But they cannot find the hour required to start the thing that could entirely redefine their life? They promise themselves, "I will start next Monday." Next Monday turns into the next financial quarter. That quarter becomes after the holidays. And suddenly, 3 years have quietly vanished. And the only things that have grown are their anxiety, and perhaps their waistline. And the ironic element? Fear always arrives with a false sense of confidence. Fear does not merely whisper in the corner. It speaks like a motivational fraudster. What if you suffer spectacular failure? What if the public mocks your effort? What if you start and then realize you must continue? Fear expertly manufactures catastrophic problems that do not even remotely exist in reality. Let me give you an example that highlights this delay. Think of the most successful online creators. People see their polished videos now. But when they began, they recorded content in cramped rooms, using equipment that made them sound like they were broadcasting from the deep end of a swimming pool. They didn't wait for ideal lighting or perfect self-assurance. They simply and stubbornly began. Meanwhile, many of us are waiting for the ideal new ring light before we even record our very first sentence. Fear desperately wants you to delay everything. Courage urgently demands that you simply start. Fear asks, "What if it tragically doesn't work out?" Reality counters, "What if it works out better than you could ever possibly imagine?" Part 2. The cost of fear and opportunity theft. Let me share a deeply relatable story. I once knew a highly capable person who spent 6 months rewriting their job resume. 6 months. By the time they finally applied, the company had reorganized the entire department. That is the actual cost of fear. Opportunities that had your name written all over them are quietly stolen. Fear is not just an emotion. It is a world-class storyteller. It takes one simple, small idea and transforms it into an elaborate Hollywood disaster film, playing exclusively inside your head. You attempt to take one small professional step, start a project, send a vital email, and instantly your mind screams, "What if it fails spectacularly? What if the whole world judges me?" Everyone? My friend, most people cannot even locate their own keys in the morning. Do you sincerely believe they are meticulously analyzing your entire existence? Fear exaggerates every single detail. You make one tiny, forgettable mistake at work, and fear triumphantly declares, "Congratulations, your entire career has ended." In reality, most people do not even notice. They are too intensely busy battling their own internal struggles. Let me show you precisely how fear steals success. I knew an aspiring entrepreneur who had the complete website, the products, the entire plan, but he never launched it. Why? He argued, "What if nobody buys on day one?" Day one. Nobody wins on day one. Not world champions. Not successful founders. Day one is strictly for starting, not for succeeding. 3 months later, someone else launched the identical idea, and it became a massive success. Fear did not just cost him money, it cost him his entire moment. This sabotage happens everywhere. People avoid the gym because they falsely believe others are watching their effort. Trust me, Nobody is watching you. Everyone in the gym is suffering through their own personal workout. Nobody possesses spare energy to judge anyone else. Fear turns simple mistakes into catastrophic disasters. But in the ruthless reality of growth, mistakes are simply progress in disguise. Here is another inescapable truth. Fear becomes the loudest right before your life is about to change forever. Right before a major life decision, fear becomes the ultimate expert in your mind. Think twice. Be completely realistic. Don't take unnecessary risks. But have you noticed that fear only ever advises you to stay exactly where you are standing? Fear passionately hates growth. Someone wisely observed, "You do not fear the unknown path. You fear losing the known path." And that explains everything we do. People remain in unfulfilling jobs. They stay trapped in routines that completely drain their energy. They remain in comfort zones that do not even feel comfortable anymore. Not because they genuinely want to, but because fear ruthlessly convinces them that remaining exactly the same is somehow infinitely safer. The very second you take even the smallest, most hesitant step, fear visibly shrinks. Fear has one core mission: to keep you frozen exactly where you are. Not because it personally dislikes you, but because it is utterly terrified of the person you could rapidly become if you only moved. Part 3. Courage over fear and the challenge. Think about this essential point. Most people do not tragically fail because they bravely tried and were beaten. They fail because they never, ever tried in the first place. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling, the perfect confidence level. But confidence does not magically materialize from thin air. Confidence is constructed only by doing the exact thing you are most terrified of. You do not receive confidence first. You earn it after the action. Let me share one final global example. Think of the world's largest music streaming service. People loudly declared no one will ever pay for music streaming. It will fail. Imagine if the founders had listened to that fear-based opinion. Today, half the world listens to music through a service that almost did not exist because of fear-based opinions. Here is the vital lesson this teaches us. Fear feels enormous when your vision is pathetically small. But when your vision grows dramatically bigger, fear instantly looks tiny and insignificant. You are not scared because you are inherently weak. You are scared because you have not yet witnessed how incredibly powerful you can become. And the only guaranteed way to discover that unstoppable version of yourself is to do the one thing fear hates above all else. Take action. Even when you are completely terrified. Fear is strange. It loves to make small, simple problems feel like a life-or-death crisis. Your mind will exaggerate, multiply, and endlessly replay what-ifs, like a terrible video loop. You know what brutally stops this internal disaster movie? A simple, stubborn decision. I do not care what could possibly go wrong. I am doing this anyway. Asterisk asterisk. Fear hates action. It despises movement. It instantly crumbles when you actually execute the thing it warned you against. So here is the final takeaway. Fear will always be present. It is sneaky, tricky, and relentlessly loud. But the one thing it can never survive is your choice to move. Look at every person you admire. They were scared too. They simply refused to let fear make their decisions for them. The woman who finally posted her artwork online and earned her first client. The student who raised their hand in class and inspired someone else to do the same. Fear wants to stop you completely, but life rewards the people who act anyway. Here is your critical challenge. Tomorrow, or today, or right now, do one single thing your fear absolutely does not want you to do. It does not have to be a monumental action. It does not have to be perfect. Just start. Just create motion. Because every single time you move, despite the fear, you grow exponentially stronger. Let me leave you with this final thought. Your future is not patiently waiting for you to feel ready. Your future is desperately waiting for you to stop listening to fear and finally start moving. So go ahead. Take that first difficult step. Send that message. Post that video. Pitch that idea. Take the risk. Because the only thing truly worse than fear is realizing one day you let it control your entire magnificent life. The world does not reward perfection. The world rewards courage. And you were born to move. So laugh at your fear, ignore the internal doubt, and go take what is waiting for you. Your life is profoundly bigger than your fear. Thank you for listening. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful content that helps you master your success journey.